Very Merry Christmas to all our viewers and welcome to another edition of Bounce Back Thursdays. We've been covering the topic of money recovery for the last few weeks. If you missed it, the links to those videos are in the description. Also in the description is a Google form. If you are facing any difficulty with money recovery, then please enter your contact details in the form. At the end of the month, we're going to shortlist a few people and help them send legal notices to concerned parties completely free of cost. So make sure to enter your contact details in the form. Having said that, let's move on to the topic of this week, which is NPAs and recovery mechanisms for banks. As always, joining me is Mr. Antim Amlan, the manager for growth and strategy here at Vakil Search and the subject matter expert. Welcome, Antim.
Hi, Ranoy. It's great to meet again, and we continue our discussions on money recovery topics.
Yes, absolutely. So the topic of discussion is NPAs and money recovery mechanisms for banks. So we've been hearing about some of these terms on the news, especially NPAs. So, but I think we can go into a little more detail about NPAs.
Yeah, sure. So, as continuing from where you just said that NPAs are basically non-performing assets. In our economy, there is more than 10 lakh crore worth of non-performing assets that our banks have failed to recover. And the shocking fact is that around 85% of these NPAs are from public sector banks. So, and also according to statistics, banks fail to recover around 2 to 2.5% of the loans that they have given in total. Okay, and I'm quoting basically our Lok Sabha question answer reports. And to define further, NPAs are basically defined as loans and advances that have been defaulted by the borrower or arreared by the borrower. Okay, and they can be classified into three categories. First one are the substandard assets. Okay, so according to RBI provisions, if a borrower has failed to return the loan, beyond a duration of 12 months, then that becomes a substandard asset. Okay, then there are doubtful assets. Okay, doubtful assets, if it exceeds 12 months, they become doubtful assets. Okay, and then there are certain assets called loss assets. Okay, where it has been identified, a particular NPA has been identified by auditors of the bank, and after RBI inspection, that these amounts are not going to come. So they have been, like, in a way, written off.
I see. So in that case, what are the recovery mechanisms available to banks to recover these NPAs?
Okay, so the recovery mechanisms, as we have been discussing so far, for banks and financial institutions are several. Like for example, for any citizen or for any person, the recovery mechanisms are under criminal law, civil law, then special laws like insolvency bankruptcy code. But for banks, there were specialized laws, enacted in order to support the banks and decrease the NPAs. Okay, some of those laws are the insolvency bankruptcy code, of course, that we discussed, and the most recent, not the most recent one, but the most specific one is basically the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act. It was enacted in 2002 by the government to bring in reforms and changes in the banking system and finance system in the country. And this was enacted as per the reform suggested by a special committee. So, as per this particular act, debt recovery tribunals were constituted, and debt recovery appellate tribunals to hear the appeals. Okay, and let me tell you that only banks and financial institutions, or as we call them, non-banking financial institutions, can approach through a debt recovery tribunal for speedy redressal of matters against the lenders and borrowers. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are three forms of recovery available of NPAs, or three major ways or popular ways, as we can say. The first one is according to Section 7 of the SARFAESI Act. Okay, this in abbreviated form, it is called the SARFAESI Act. The securitization is basically when there are certain classified securitization and reconstruction companies who basically buy these financial assets or these NPAs from a bank and then try to sell it or do transaction on the public capital market, okay, in the capital market in form of any kind of security. They convert these assets into some form of securities, and then they trade it in the capital markets. And whatever the bank is able to raise by selling these assets to the securitization company is in a way the bank is recovering on these NPAs. So the second type of recovery mechanism is basically asset reconstruction companies. So what these asset reconstruction companies do, they specialize in buying off these NPAs from the banks, I think at a much lesser rate than the NPAs really value, because they specialize in recovery of the bad loans, right? So in a way, the banks are able to recover as much as they can. So it's a way of salvaging what they can from these NPAs. Okay. And it is defined under Section 9 as to what measures this asset reconstruction companies has to take. Then the third and most important form, and most regularly used form, is basically enforcement of security interest. So to put it into perspective, let's say a person takes a mortgage from a bank by mortgaging his property. So as per enforcement of security interest and Section 13 of the SARFAESI Act, it gives power to the bank and financial institution to take possession of that particular asset or that property, irrespective of the provisions of Transfer of Property Act. Okay, so to state it very briefly, the Transfer of Property Act in India defines the transfer of title of a property in India. But if in case there is an asset that you have mortgaged and you have failed to pay a particular loan, pay back that loan, then that bank has the power under SARFAESI Act, since it is a special act, it has a power over the Transfer of Property Act to take possession of that property. And in that case, as we call it, that the banks can do auction of the property or sell off that particular asset, as we call it, nilami of that particular property.
All right, Antim, thank you for joining us as always. I look forward to connecting next week to talk about recovery of damages under Indian Contract Act. Until then, wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Renai. Merry Christmas to you too. Let's meet and discuss the further topics.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.